Alrighty then. Successful Indie Author 5 Minute Focus, episode 1009. When is a series stale? What do I mean by sale? Stale. It's just not cutting it for you. Whether it's you personally as the author, whether it's the readers, whether it's just lost its way out in the marketplace, all of those factors combined, or just one is enough to take a series down off its pedestal that you've had it on. So what takes a series down? You lose your creativity. You've been writing and writing, and you feel like you're repeating the same plots. You feel like your characters aren't growing. Well, guess what? You've hit a creative impasse, and maybe it's time to just wrap up that story arc, the overall story arc, not the individual book story, but the overall series arc, and move on. Find something that will stoke those creative fires into a new series where you can write with more passion. Because it feels like a job, it is a job. So don't do that to yourself. Understand that a series is a subset of a subset, especially if they need to be read in order. So the first book, the saying is everybody buys the first book for a series that you need to read in order. They'll buy that first book. Well, then about 50%, that's what you're shooting for, 50% or more going on to the second book. Then you're doing okay. Because then by the third book, you should get 90+%. However, if you have 90% read every book from first through 10, guess what? By the time you get to book 10, you only got like 3 of your original readers left. Is that what you want? And you're looking at it and say, geez. However, when you publish that book 10, if they're good, each book is good, then guess what? You can put book 1 on sale. You can give it away for free. You can give away the first 3 books for free, especially since you've already gotten the bulk of your sales. And then you pick up readers for the whole series then. I've done that up through a 21 book series. I had the first 3 books free. I put books 4 through 20 for 99 cents. And then book 21 was full price. when I published it, 21 books. Made a lot of money on that with the 21st book because people bought the whole series then. But that's okay. But I hit a creative impasse. That's it. Okay, we just can't write any more of these stories because I just feel like I'm recycling. And I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that to the characters. So I sent them out on a high note and declared at the end. What's your long-term business goal? What are you trying to accomplish as an author? And if you're trying to just get by and get a story down and keep going, well, good on you. Get that story written, even if it takes a year, 2 years. So you're writing in a series. You've been writing on it for 10 years. You've got 5 books in there. So what? That's great. Good job on the series. But now you're hitting a wall because that 5th book, everybody reads the first book. How many are reading the 5th book? 2 years in between, you would have had to become a marketing guru in order to maintain any kind of level of income and revenue from those books. So what do? Maybe you go move on to another series, but you invested 10 years of your life into it. You can't look at it that way. You have to look at it, what's best for you creatively and what's best for you. Because if you're taking 2 years to write a book, is that stoking you enough that you're diving in really excited to write that next sentence? I wasn't. And that made it hard. And I was down, I initially started about 3,000 words a day. And 21 books later, I'm down to like 1,200, 1,500 words a day. It just wasn't doing it for me. It was hard. It's kind of like a job. And who wants one of those? So write the book. Write a better book. Write a book that you're excited about. And sometimes that means you have to shift away from a series that has been your bread and butter, that has been the foundation of your revenue, but you have to do it. And business goal, think of it like a business, not, oh, this is my baby. I spent 10 years writing this. What do you want to accomplish? If you just only want to live in that one world, one universe, fine. Make that decision, make it your business goal, and go with it. You can write a long series and have one less than stellar book. I'm not going to call it a bad book. I'd like to think that we don't write bad books, but you write a book that just doesn't engage with the readership like you wanted. I did that. It was book 7, and it just didn't do it. Readers kind of hated it. So what they did is, because they didn't want to hurt my feelings, is they didn't review it. So after a couple of weeks, I had like 20 reviews, and all the other ones had hundreds within a couple of weeks. It's like, what the hell is going on? Okay, better blow them away with book 8. And we did. And then book 9, book 10. Sales of 7 kind of dropped off, but then they came back up with books 8, 9, and 10 that we released in in rapid succession. So I've got experience with writing a bad book in a series. Not a bad book, but less than stellar, shall we say. And You can recover from that. Two books that are less than stellar, yeah, you're not going to recover from that. You need a new series. And also, you might have lost readership with those two books that were not your top work. And that goes back to you losing your creativity in the series. The fires aren't burning brightly. You got to write when they're burning brightly. Now, you don't have to be inspired every minute of every day while writing, but you do have to have a great plot. You do have to put together, you do have to have a story that just keeps the readers reading. Now, one thing that it does is when you have a series is it buys you time. If you have no series, if you have no standalones, if you're just writing your first book, you don't have a backlist. You don't have books that you can sell while you're working on changing gears. Oh, this genre just absolutely isn't working for me. Let me move to a new genre. Well, you do that, and guess what? Now you've got no money coming in unless you have a backlist. So you start a series, kind of stick with it. But if book one doesn't sell in your series, guess what? You don't have any disappointed readers if you don't move to book two or book three. However, I would always finish the series no matter what, because there might be somebody later who reads that book and says, geez, this kind of just ends. What happened to all these people? What happened to these things? So give them a chance to close out. And that you'll notice that from my 3-book series that I have out there that the book one just didn't sell. And book two, well, no read through to book two, but I put book one on sale, picked up a few sales, didn't work, closed it out of book three, and then moved on. And you'll find that book three is probably pretty short, like 60,000 words, even if book one is 100,000 words, because finish the series, close it out, and then move on. Sometimes that's the best decision. Holy cow, 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Better call this one a quit. Pay attention, business goal. I didn't lead with that, but understand what your business goal is for writing a series and writing as a whole, and then strive toward achieving that. So if it's not meeting your revenue projections, then maybe a new series is for you. Maybe a new genre if you're not excited about writing in the current one. So treat yourself well, manage your business well, write great stories that you're excited to write. Peace, fellow humans.